Hello, my name is Emily and I'm a second year medical student studying at the University of Birmingham, and welcome back to my channel if you are not already subscribed. So this video is about how I prepared for the UCAT completely for free before I came to medical school and why I think you should do it too. So why am I making this video, you may ask? Why not just pay for a question bank because loads of people recommend them? And it's mainly because not a lot of students can afford one of the really expensive question banks. The subscription basis and using them, and just in general, paying to do the UCAT is often a lot for a lot of medical students and people wanting to be medical students. The UCAT is quite expensive, and if you're doing it alongside the BMAT in the UK, it can be very challenging to also then buy resources to practice the tests for both. So that's why I decided I was going to not pay any money to practice for the UCAT. I only paid for the test itself. So I'm going to tell you how I did that. There are timestamps in the description for the different aspects I talk about, and you can go to whichever one you think will be most useful. So first I'm going to talk about question banks and access to free question banks. One of the main ones that I used was Past Medicine. They have a free question bank with over 2,000 questions in all aspects of the UCAT course, and I found it very, very useful. My only problem with this question bank is often the questions are a little easier than you'll have in the test, so if you're scoring really highly in these, you may score a little bit lower in the actual exam, but it is still good to have plenty of practice because some of them can be quite challenging to answer. This question bank also explains why each answer is correct and which answer is not, so that you can properly assess where you're going wrong and what aspects of the question that you are missing to help you answer it in the future. The UCAT website is also amazing for this because it has plenty of questions available and practice exams. I like to use these practice exams near the end of my preparation because it is important to test yourself under timed conditions to see what you can do. These are also digital tests which all replicate the exam conditions you'll be in when you do the UCAT. The Past Medicine is also time controlled, however you can stay on after the limited time to have a go at the questions, but it is good to get used to the time which you'll have to do the questions under, and that's why I never went past the time limit. I just did the ones I could do in the time limit. This is the best way, I think, so you can properly get a grip of how you need to answer these questions under the time frame you are given. There is also the possibility that you can get free trials for other question banks. Although the UCAT is in early August and you can do it however in a set time frame, you will only need to prepare for about 5 to 6 weeks max for the UCAT. So if you can get a month free trial of a UCAT question bank, then you can use that question bank for that 1 month of preparation, and that will give you access to harder questions. However, often they don't run a free trial and you just have to sign up for a set limit of time, which is usually why these are very expensive and can be very challenging to use. You also have the option of borrowing books from a library. There are UCAT preparation books that you can find, and using the library website you can find out and order some in if required. This will be free because it is a library service, and some high schools, colleges, universities may also offer these to aspiring medics. The only problem I have with books is that they are not the digital form and so can be quite deceiving when you're trying to do them, but it is a good way to get through some extra questions and understand why things are right and wrong. Next, I'm going to talk about YouTube and why YouTube is your best friend in your UCAT preparation. Now, I'm going to plug a channel here, and don't worry, I asked, and it's completely okay to do so because it is one of the things that I found really useful during my UCAT preparation, and that is Karma Medic, which I'll link up here. If you have not watched Karma Medic, you should go watch Karma Medic because he has so many videos talking about medical school, life, planning, time management, UCAT preparation, everything. On YouTube, he was the one person who explained the UCAT course and question types and went through questions with us real time in videos for free, and it made it so clear what I was meant to do. I watched every single one of his videos talking about how to prepare for the sections, and I practiced questions alongside him in his talk through questions. It was amazing using his videos, and I would highly recommend his channel and his playlist. I will link that in the description below, and I'll link his channel in the cards so you can go check him out. There are also plenty of other YouTubers who did the UCAT and are medical students, so going through any channels that you find useful talking about the UCAT and preparation and practice questions will be really good for you in general, because it'll give you somebody else's thought process and you can see where you need to edit yours to match the questions that you are being given. So what I wanted to talk about near the end, because that is basically all the free resources that you can use to prepare for your UCAT. Your UCAT scores will be very dependent on the questions on the day, the situations on the day, and you can defer your test at least once. So if you feel like you need to do that, please do not hesitate. With the UCAT, there is a curve, and a lot of medical students I've talked to see this curve for what it is. So when you prepare for your UCAT, slowly your skills will increase until you reach your peak. This is when you need to take your test, because after you keep practicing for a while, you will start to decrease because of the types of questions that they are asking you. Some of them you need to think really deeply and some you don't. When you reach this peak, you can get a good balance between doing them both and getting a good score. When you've practiced too much, it starts to decrease because you can't think too much for every single question, because you know how easy it is to make a mistake. Answer every single question on the test, even if you are not sure, because it is multiple choice. You can get marks if you accidentally put the right answer. So do everything you can to do your exam at the perfect time for you and answer every single question on there to the best of your ability. So although I was not one of the top scoring UCAT scores in the whole of the UK, I got 2,660 total, which is a good score. It's a little higher than average and allowed me to get all 4 university offers for medical school. When you have your UCAT score, you should apply strategically to medical schools that will accept you for your score. So I did not apply to University of Bristol like I wanted to, because I did not get a high enough UCAT score. I instead applied for 4 universities that had a lower UCAT cutoff and considered other things such as my GCSEs and A-levels. I will have another video coming out very soon talking about how you decide what medical school to go to and what information to use. I will also have one going out about my medical school journey and how I went from a year 13 student studying for A-levels to a medical student at the University of Birmingham. I think you'll find both of those videos very useful. So if you want to see what I do and talk about in those videos, subscribe, stick a like. Any questions you have, put them in the comments below. And I would highly recommend referring this to friends who are thinking about doing the UCAT. My final bit of advice here is that I know so many people at medical school because there are over 400 people in my course, and I have talked to plenty. Those who did really well on the UCAT didn't always pay for the big fancy question banks. They often used the free ones and did practice questions on their own time from books. Those who paid for the course, some of them did really well, yes, but some also didn't do as well as me. And it does not matter how much you spend on preparing for the UCAT. It will all be about your planning, balancing times between the 4 or 5 sections, and making sure that you've answered as many practice questions as possible so you can get the best score that is possible for you. You can retake the UCAT once each year, so if you do not get a high enough score and decide to do the BMAT, you can apply to only BMAT universities. Or you can reapply the year after and resit the UCAT with plenty of time to prepare and notice where you went wrong. I would highly recommend giving yourself a 5 to 6 week time frame before the test to study for the UCAT, setting yourself a strict schedule. I did this and made a timetable with what sections I would be doing, how many questions I'd be doing, and then tracking my scores on average for the whole of that area so that I could see my improvements over time, and that really helped me stay motivated in completing the UCAT on time and to the best of my abilities. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry this was such a short video, but I will be doing more videos about how I applied to medical school and the interview process and all those things. So please like, comment and subscribe. I will be uploading so many more videos over this summer about everything medical school and everything university, showing my house, how I decorated it, and my final house tour, which will be coming out early September when I return to university for my second year of medicine. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.